Hi, I'm Lisa Taylor, and a lot of our community's heard a lot from me because when I'm angry, I tend to speak a lot. So I didn't want to speak tonight because I wanted to hear a lot of other voices. But I want to speak for those who can't speak or aren't here because they don't know. I live at 107 118th Avenue Southeast, and it's Unit 8. Anyone who wants to see my home can look right out the windows there, and you see the set of new townhouses right across the way. Myself and my neighbor have the beautiful units on the end. They're 2 years old with picture windows, floor to ceiling, in an area where the highest structures we could expect to see, with a permitting exception, is 45 feet. We are along segment F. This is the Burlington Northern Santa Fe right-of-way. We expected maybe a train could come back. We expected trails. We really didn't expect 135 to 170 foot poles. By the way, I think Puget Sound Energy has been underrepresenting what these poles really look like. I'm here because we are in a largely commercial and high density area. So the folks you're not hearing from are the ones who are not property owners. We have predominantly apartment buildings where we're some of the only residences in that area. So these folks aren't here. They're just as affected as anybody who has a piece of land, and they don't have a lot of elsewhere to go. I've been told, hey, move. Where? So one of the things I'd like to point out is the East Side has been heavily hit by carrying the burden of transmission power for the entire region. We've got lines around Lake Washington. We've got them on Lake Sammamish. We've got 2 sets going through the central city areas. We've also got a 3rd potential set proposed. This goes through all of the East Side. I'm also likewise a multi-generation native. I've lived in Mukilteo, I've lived in Seattle, I grew up in Bellevue, my sisters were some of the first born at Overlake, all that fun stuff. I care very much about all the cities that are affected by this. And as a lead agency, I'm hoping Bellevue can live up to our expectations of being the leader that we have and can and should be in taking care of all these folks. But one of the things I'd like to point out is I think we have more coming. This is a precedent that we are setting in doing this. The Bonneville Power Administration is already carrying capacity on the City of Seattle lines. I'd really like to have our city take a look at what the answer is, not just for this area, but also for the region, and not just for this project, but for those to come. If Bonneville and our other power providers have projects on the books within the next 10 years that we can expect to have federal funding, why aren't they getting together with Seattle City Light and Puget Sound Energy to come up with one solution that gives us an answer for 50 to 60 years plus to come, because we don't want to go through this again. These are our homes. This is a priceless place to live. And I want everybody to think about the fact that if these go in, it doesn't matter which route they are, you are going to stand out, and every building in the downtown corridor is going to look out and see those things 13 to 17 stories across our skyline. I don't want it in my neighborhood, and I don't want it in yours. Thank you.